This is going to be a quick video. We're going to talk about the modulo or the modulus operator. It's a very useful thing that you can use in programming, and it's very, very simple. The way that I like to think about it is going back to elementary school when you were learning long division. When you first started, you'd work out your long division problem, and then you'd end up with the remainder, and you would just simply say, okay, here's my whole answer, and then I have this left over, and this is my remainder. What the modulo operator is it just returns that remainder. We don't even get that whole number value. So I have an example that we can do really quick. I'm not even going to hook anything up on my breadboard. We're going to just go ahead and plug in some numbers, print some things to the screen, and we're going to see what happens. So I have number, and right now number is 0. If I do a print serial.print and I do number and then modulo, and that is going to be the percent sign. Then what I would do is I would say, all right, so if I were to take this number and I were to divide it by something, and it can be anything, well, any whole number. So let's just say that I choose 5. We'll go ahead and we'll put a delay in here so that numbers aren't just flying through the screen. I'm just going to put a huge delay in right now because we just want to take a look at this one number. I'm going to start the simulation. And I get 0. What this is really saying is if I take some number, and in this case, if I take the number 0 and I divide it by 5, what would my remainder be? And it would be 0. There'd be nothing left over because I didn't have anything that I started with. If I were to pick the number, let's say 12, 12 divided by 5, I should get a 2, and then I should get something left over. What should I get left over? I should get 2 left over. And so there you go. It's just telling me what would get left over. So let's make this a little bit more interesting. I'm going to set this back down to 0. I'm going to make this delay just 1 second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase our number. We'll increase it by 1. We'll go ahead and clear this out. And so number starts off as 0. It'll figure out what the remainder would be if I were to divide that by 5. We'd wait just a bit, increase the number to 1, and then we do it again. If I did 1 divided by 5, what would my remainder be? And that's all that's going to happen. And so what this does is it gives us integers starting at 0 that only go up to a certain point. In this case, they only go up to 4. And the reason they only go up to 4 is because if something is divisible by 5, then it goes into it perfectly, and I would get the remainder of 0 again. And that's all it is. It's just a way to get numbers ranging from starting at 0 up to some number. And so this could be something very interesting. I could, if I wanted to make, let's say, dice, this would give me 6 numbers. Let's hit start. I'm going to clear this off. A second. All right, we'll start this off. We get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it starts over. So it's not quite like rolling a dice. Normally you don't get 0 and then you don't just get up to 5. Normally it starts at 1 and goes to 6. So can we fix this? Of course we can. I'm just going to go up here and I'm going to add 1. So we're starting here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I can do whatever I want with this number. I can put it in an if statement. I can put it in a while loop. I can use it any way that I could really think of using. I want to show one other thing that you could possibly use this for. Instead of maybe a 6-sided die, you could do, let's just say modulus 2. This one's pretty simple. It either returns a 0 or a 1. It returns a 0 when the number's even, and it returns a 1 when the number's odd. So now I have a way to take any number in the world, and I can figure out whether it's even or odd with one line of code. So underneath here, I could, let's say, and I'm not necessarily going to do this or run this, but I could have an if statement, if, and then I'd have some variable where I'm saving this 0 or 1. And what this would really be doing here is we would be saying if it's even. If it's even, do something. I could have an else. If it's not even, do something else. And so there are a lot of things that we can do here, and the modulus operator is very powerful once you know how to use it.